Hey, George, the ocean called. They're running out of shrimp.
Hello and welcome to Seincast, a retrospective on all 108 episodes of Seinfeld, being hosted by two guys who can barely run their own lives. My name is Vinnie.
Of Vincent's picks?
The same.
The same, yes. How you doing?
Good. Are you Matt of...
Oh, yeah, that's... Oh, boy.
Matt's picks?
It's been 2 weeks.
A little rusty. A little out of our leagues here.
A little bit.
I've done that one already.
Yeah, we were off last week. Apologies to the listeners, who missed us, but we're back officially. We've come back.
And, in all fairness, we had a good reason for not doing a show last week. We were together.
We're strictly like a Skype podcast. That's how we do the show. I'm in New Jersey, Vinnie, you're in DC, and we record via Skype. And yeah, that's the way it works for us.
And just like Charlie Kelly, when he performs, I don't want you to see me. Can you put a curtain up so you don't see my face?
Well, Vinnie, I figured we could catch our listeners up on our trip when we went to the Cyclones game, and then we have some news topics to discuss before we get into this week's episode. But first up, the Seinfeld night with the Brooklyn Cyclones. Did you enjoy yourself?
I had a lovely, lovely time. I'd like to start by saying we had preached for the past couple weeks of you got to get there early, get your spot in line, and make sure you get your bobbleheads. And sure enough, I got home late the night before, and I didn't get on the road till late, so I get there at 3:30. And I think you had said get to the ballpark around 3:30 or 4, something like that. We ended up getting there at 4:30?
Yeah, you arrived at my place a little after 3. We hit the road around 3:15. Gates open in an hour.
So that was my bad. But we ended up making it there, and your tickets were at, here's the first thing. Your tickets were at will call. So you're like, get in line. So I'm holding this line, and I'm like, oh God, this is a ticket holder's line, not a ticket buyer's line. And I see people with tickets, and I'm freaking out, and it's starting to move because the gates have opened. But luckily, you would come back in a quick fashion, so we were able to get in and got our bobbleheads.
Yeah, we got some Soup Nazi bobbleheads, which were great, and then later on we got some Jackie Childs bobbleheads and some T-shirts. A lot of fun swag. But
well, I think right as we entered, we immediately were approached by people saying, "Are you Matt and Vinnie? Are you Matt and Vinnie?"
Right.
So we didn't get to go to our seats. We didn't get concessions. It ended up just being a little meet and greet where we're trying to figure out where's the line for Jackie Childs? Is it down there? Is it down there? And then we just kept meeting all these great people that wanted to say hi and take pictures and just kind of schmooze.
It was incredible to meet all of these Seinfeld fans and Seincast fans, really. Listeners who just wanted to say hi and, say they came out to the game because they heard us talk about it. We just don't realize the influence we have, I guess, on people. We still think only a handful of people are listening, but yeah, it was incredible. And it was, sadly, we don't remember everyone's name. I think for a while you were adding it to your phone, right? I
was trying to keep track of all these people that we met because I wanted to bring them up and be like, hey, I met Jake and Joey and Allison. But I was like, this is too difficult. So I just put my phone away and just enjoyed the moment. I was being present.
Right. The entire experience was, I think, the best Seinfeld night we've had, mainly because of the fans of the podcast and getting to meet them. And it makes me, I don't know how this is going to happen, but just maybe we can do something next year where we can do either a trivia night. And I think I've mentioned this before, just never came together, where we can get Seincast listeners together at the game and we can do a little, pregame celebration, whether it's at MCU or in the parking lot, we can tailgate or something. I don't know. Just an excuse to get everyone together and to mingle and socialize and whatnot. I just think that'd be a lot of fun.
Take it to the streets, baby.
Yeah.
You need one of those little recorder speaker things that you wear like a purse, and then you have a microphone.
Purse.
So, you wear it like a strap, like a messenger bag. There it is. And you could just be doing trivia wherever you go.
Yeah, that would be fun. huge thanks to all the listeners who came out to the game and took the time to chat with us. And yeah, it was just a huge thrill to meet all of you.
Now, aside from that, there was the game itself, and to take in all the Seinfeld-inspired events. That part of the game I felt was a little lacking compared to previous years. Like, they had some on-field events, like an ice cream eating contest. How much can you get on your face? They had a bubble boy race, but it just felt like it feels like each year they're kind of pulling back from Seinfeld-themed events and just, okay, we got bobbleheads, we got a celebrity, that's it. Here's your Seinfeld night. You know what I mean? The first year they wore the Technicolor Dreamcoat jerseys,
Oh, yeah, there wasn't a themed jersey this year.
Yeah, it just seemed, I still like it, but I think there was an article in my news feed that I may have sent you that these minor league baseball parks are turning into like Seinfeld cons, where fans come to celebrate Seinfeld, and then hopefully a celebrity's there that you can kind of meet and greet with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much the vibe we got as soon as we entered, because I don't know how people do it. I guess they buy a lot of tickets, but one dude had like 5 bobbleheads.
Oh, yeah.
So people are going to these games for the bobbleheads, meet the celebrity, and then leave. And, even after the game, I think people were asking us if we'd like to sell our bobbleheads.
Oh, sorry, Bob.
Right. So I would definitely love it if there could be a little bit more like Seinfeld celebration as opposed to just the bobblehead and the celebrity.
Right.
Hence, maybe trivia or something we can do next time if our people talk to their people. But
we have people?
Well, us, I guess.
Okay, you.
I mean, yeah. But we did get to meet Phil Morris, which was huge, man. I mean, I can't think of a Seinfeld actor I'd want to meet more than Phil Morris, outside of the main 4.
Sure.
What a gentleman. Class act, so gracious with his time. He wasn't there just to sign bobbleheads. He actually had conversations with people.
Our friends were in front of us, so they got to go first, and Phil looked really warm and engaging with them. And then we got to go up, and I think Matt may have mentioned, oh, we do a show called Seincast, and he goes, oh, I've heard of Seincast, and we're like, whoa, that's big news. And I was wearing a CrossFit shirt. He noted, he's like, CrossFit? I was just watching the CrossFit games. So like he really took the time to make us feel like part of the gang. Mm-hmm. So. And damn, is that guy in shape? He looks fantastic all these years later.
Tall guy, too. I want to say he's about 6 foot. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that matters, but...
I tell you, he was 10 stories high if he was a foot.
But yeah, such a great guy. Only heard good things about him. And, just like in general, it seems like everyone, whether they were meeting Phil Morris or, just there to watch the game, it seems like everyone had a really good time this year. So, despite our nitpicks and our criticisms of either, not enough Seinfeld events or things being a little disorganized in terms of which line to wait in, I think it was really the best Seinfeld night I've been to.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
And it got me wondering, we talked about this briefly at the game, who would you like to see at Seinfeld Night V? What Seinfeld actor would be on the top of your list?
Well, for some reason, this came immediately to mind, and I mentioned it to Joanna, and she seconded my notion. But I really wanted to see Rennie Santoni, Poppy. I think he's like a perfect get for a Seinfeld night to come out and greet the fans. Who do you got?
I'm not sure. I don't know if I'd be as excited to meet Poppy as I would like Danny Woodburn, who played Mickey.
He'd be good too.
Or, I also threw out the name Wayne Knight, but a lot of people felt like that he's too big a get.
I feel like he'd be tough to nail down. Somebody mentioned Patrick Warburton, but I was like, this guy isn't, he's working steady all the time, that he'd be tough to want to come out to Brooklyn.
Right. But, I think that's a pretty solid list between, Mickey, Poppy, maybe Newman, who knows.
Yeah.
But, great Seinfeld night. Really looking forward to the next one. Our trip did not end there, Vinny. Over the next couple...
wait, there's more.
We hit up this is not Seinfeld related, but we hit up a flea market, the Collingwood flea market, because this is for the few listeners out there that actually listen to Tell 'em Steve Dave. We're huge fans of that podcast. We have been, I think, pretty much since the beginning. Mm-hmm. And they did a really funny episode where they go to this very unusual flea market in New Jersey and interview people. And we wanted to go there, and I don't know, maybe see or meet some of the people they interviewed. And I felt very uncomfortable as soon as we arrived.
It was palpable how much you wanted to get out of there as soon as we got there.
Yeah,
you're like, "Are you okay? You feeling good?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And then out of the blue, you're like, I'm sorry, dude. Can we go?" So we left. We were there. We in and out. We did one little pass, and then we're on our way.
It was kind of dead too. Like there just wasn't anything.
Yeah,
going on,
but it was very, as flea markets tend to be. It was very like cluttered, and there was like a lot of the stands outside were just tables with a bunch of junk on them. At one point, we're outside. There was a guy just there were a bunch of glasses on the table, and he was picking up the glasses from the table and then throwing them into a box. Not placing them, but throwing them.
And they're just shattering.
You'd hear the glass shatter. The little glass pieces would fly out. So that's kind of what we, what we encountered when we went to Collingwood.
The one table, though, they did have some of the Seinfeld DVD sets, which is pretty cool.
That's true.
So it all ties back to Seinfeld.
There you go.
Later during your visit, we also had a Seinfeld trivia night in the city, which, once again, a lot of listeners came out for, which was a huge thrill. And, Vinnie, this is the first trivia event you've been to, I think, since you used to play. Like, we were on the same team.
Yeah.
What'd you think? Did you have fun?
I had a blast. Again, everybody that came up to me was super nice. I got to hand out the scorecards and kind of meet everybody at the table or various tables. And then you actually let me keep score, which was kind of cool because you were doing your MC thing and calling out questions and answers. And then after each round, I get to tally up the scores. But I got to tell you, it is tough to do it efficiently and with speed because you got to get on to the next round. I'm trying to tally up these scores. So trivia is no joke.
Yeah, it can be grueling some nights, especially when I think we had over 20 teams.
Yeah, there's 22 if I recall.
Right. So yeah, it's a lot of answer sheets to score.
Some great team names. I think the one that I remember the most is Yankee Studios, which is a direct callback to when we mentioned that blooper that we love. That Michael, instead of saying Yankee Stadium, he said Yankee Studios. And somebody put that as their team name. So it was just a great night, all in all.
Yeah, and just a great visit in general, man. I'm really glad you were able to make the trip. And, it went by too fast. And I hope we can do it again sometime.
I'm here. I'm waiting.
Well, Vinny, before we get started with this week's episode, I have a few news topics I think we should discuss.
Hey, I got news for you.
Great news. And I got news. You ready?
So this first news item is pretty funny, Vinny, because this story broke or was announced during your visit, and I kind of give you a hard time for it. There will be a Curb Your Enthusiasm podcast coming out on September 6th, and it's going to sort of be it's going to lead up to the season 9 premiere on October 1st. And when I saw the headline, I'm like, what the hell is going on here, Vinny? Someone beat us.
Yeah.
And maybe you were a little relieved. You're like, oh, thank God, I don't have to do this Curb podcast. But we read the details. It's apparently a new podcast. I don't even have the name of it. I think it's called Origins, where the host is going to, cover different topics, different either TV shows or movies or books, what have you, and, focus a couple of episodes on how these things came to be. And he's kicking it off with Curb Your Enthusiasm. There'll be 5 episodes featuring interviews with Larry and Cheryl Hines, Jeff Garlin, Richard Lewis, just, talking about how this show came to be, which personally I'm very excited for because there's really not a whole lot of information on Curb Your Enthusiasm out there.
No, I think only the season 1 DVD has a behind the scenes vignette, and then there's a Curb book that came out after 5 seasons that has some behind the scenes information. But other than that, it's pretty sparse. Right.
So very interested to see what this podcast has to offer in terms of just the behind the scenes stuff and whatnot. I think it's really cool though that we're in this this new era where social media and podcasting is just so much more popular than it was during Curb's run. Twitter was around and everything, but I wonder if we're going to see when Curb comes back, maybe some other Curb podcasts, maybe people want to, take advantage of something that's popular.
Yeah, I imagine they would.
Right. But yeah, once again, this podcast is called Origins. It's going to come out on September 6th. And yeah, we'll definitely, link it on our Facebook page. And, hell, when we listen to the episodes, maybe we can do like a little, recap of the podcast on Seincast.
We're recapping the recappers, Matt.
Yeah. Now, something else that was pretty cool during our brief hiatus, Jerry was in Australia on a comedy tour with his buddy Mario Joyner. He was opening for him. And once again, we heard from a ton of listeners on Twitter and Facebook and email, Australian listeners who managed to get to one of Jerry's shows and just, how much they loved it, which is just awesome. I love hearing that, Jerry still got it and people still love going out for his shows.
He still got it. He sells out every friggin' time his tickets go on sale. You can't get them.
I guess really it's amazing when I hear people can actually afford his tickets.
Right.
But
they got it.
But I think this was Jerry's first time in Australia. I might be wrong about that. But one of the coolest things to come out of his visit to Australia is Jerry and his manager, George Shapiro, who we know pretty well from our discussions on Seincast. They were able to track down this Jerry and Kesha mural that was painted a few months ago. This is, of course, the whole, can I have a hug? No, thanks.
Thank you, no.
This beautiful mural created by an Australian artist. Her name is Lush Sucks.
Is that how it's pronounced?
Right? How else would you pronounce that?
Lushucks? Lushucks?
4?
Something like that.
Yeah, so this mural is in Melbourne, or I guess the correct pronunciation is Melbourne. But
Melbourne.
They tracked it down, Jerry and George, and right in front of this mural, they're having a good hug and a good laugh on top of it.
So Jerry does like to hug people, just certain people.
Yes, especially an old friend like George Shapiro. So very sweet picture. We'll include that in our show notes if anyone wants to check it out. I feel like this is probably the end of the Jerry Kesha hug meme.
One would hope.
Yeah, you never really seem to be on board with it, right?
Well, it was very cringe worthy, and that's it. I felt bad. I felt a little bit bad for Kesha because I would never go up to a celebrity that I like and ask them for a hug, but to get rebuffed like that in front of the entire world would be quite embarrassing.
I think that's one of my biggest fears, like regarding Seincast, is if we ever met Jerry. I'm so afraid of him.
He's gonna be mean to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and the fact that Jerry is on the other side of this incident, he's the one who's doing the rebuffing. That's why I didn't take joy in this this news story. I felt bad for everybody.
You're a very kind man, Vinnie. You would hug Kesha, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, good. Well, one last bit of news here. This is really an announcement for an upcoming trivia event that I'll be hosting in New York City on August 23rd at 8 o'clock at Slattery's Midtown Pub. This is a huge event because the company that I do trivia for, called Trivia AD, they've teamed up with the people that created that Seinfeld set.
Go on.
that little tiny, 1/14 scale diorama of the Jerry Seinfeld set that has a price tag of, I believe, $500. We will be giving out one of those Seinfeld apartment sets to the first place team on August 23rd at Slattery's. So, yeah, huge prize to give out. I'm sure a lot of our best teams are going to be coming out for this event. Mm-hmm. In addition, there might be some filming there. I believe the team who works on the Seinfeld set, they will have some camera set up, and I think they want to kind of turn this into some sort of promo video for their website. So
cool.
Kind of getting, memories of that Hulu Summer of George event we had a couple of years ago.
Okay. That is really cool. Mm-hmm. That's the trivia night I should have went to get that damn apartment. Now, Matt, I want you to ask...
Wait, hang on a second. Did you think you would be able to play?
Oh, I'm not allowed to play?
Oh, I'm sorry, Vinny. You are not allowed to play trivia events.
I would not have done well, though, having seen some of these teams from last week. They're too good. I want you to ask whoever wins, because I'm assuming it's going to be a multi-person team. It won't be a single entity, although there were some singles last week.
Yeah, you never know.
Who gets the Seinfeld apartment, or do they take Newman's route and cut the apartment down the middle?
I think that's going to do it for our little catch-up and our news segment. What episode are we discussing this week?
We are discussing the 13th episode of Season 8, The Comeback, written by Greg Cavett and Andy Robin, directed by David Owen Traynor, and it originally aired January 30th, 1997.
I've missed those moments where you'll always question a director or a writer.
That name doesn't normally go there.
Directed by Jason Alexander.
What?
Yeah, this David Owen Traynor, he has directed an episode before, The Secretary, in season 6.
I think he's an assistant AD on Seinfeld. It's just that Andy Ackerman was either on vacation for that week or just not available. So David Owen Traynor stepped up. Mm-hmm.
And he, I think, did a great job. You know, if it weren't for the credits at the beginning, I would have just assumed this is an Andy Ackerman episode. Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk a little inspiration here for this week's episode. You know, this comeback storyline, which I think is probably one of the most popular Seinfeld jokes, right? The whole, you know, the jerk store called the run out of you.
Everybody knows jerk store or ocean called they're running out of you or shrimp. Like casuals, diehards. One of my friends will text me jerk store quotes out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. So yeah, this tends to be one of the more popular ones, especially in the later seasons.
For sure. So this whole comeback storyline didn't even exist in Greg and Andy's original script, or at least the ideas they were kicking around. Apparently there was going to be some Yankee storyline that involved none other than Ben Stein, who, you know, is in this episode as Shellback. Mm-hmm. But
Shellback!
In Greg and Andy's original story, I guess he would be an employee of the Yankees and like a coworker of George, and that's, I guess, where the friction would be. Maybe they wouldn't get along. Who knows? But It wasn't really working for them. They had already cast Ben Stein because, you know, with Ben Stein, you know what you're going to get. Mm-hmm. So they had him locked down, but since the storyline wasn't working, they talked to Peter Melman, and he had this idea that he was working on about a comeback. You know, someone insults you, and it's not till later that you come up with, oh, that's what I should have said. Mm-hmm. So, you know, Peter kind of helped them out and gave them that storyline to flesh out into what we now have. Now,
isn't that interesting? Peter Melman has the most, I don't want to say important, but the most notable germ of this particular episode, and yet the story credit goes to Greg Cavett and Andy Robin.
Yeah, you know, that's something that, you know, we've brought up a few times, how in these later seasons, it seems like the writers, you know, are maybe helping each other out more, or ideas are getting thrown around, kind of like how George says in the episode, you know, like, this is why I hate writing in a large group.
Yeah, they tended to, Cavett and Robin tended to enjoy poking fun at the whole writer's room dynamic, writing as a group.
Right.
So you do see some nods to that in this episode.
For sure. One other thing here, the tennis racket storyline with Milos, who is one of my favorite single shots. Are you a fan of Milos? Or?
Oh, yeah.
This idea, you know, of Jerry buying a tennis racket from someone who he thinks is a pro, turns out to be horrible, happened to Greg Cavett. He used to ski a lot, and he went to this, you know, great ski store to buy some boots, and there's this employee there who knows everything about skiing and recommended these really expensive boots for Greg to buy. And, you know, Greg bought them. He was really happy with his purchase. And then later he sees this guy skiing down the mountain and he's falling. He's just horrible at skiing. And it was just, he felt this moment of, I don't know, what do you call it? Like betrayal, or like he's been
betrayed. Well, he said he lost confidence in his purchase because he thought he was getting a recommendation from like a renowned skier and ended up being just some schmo.
Right. So there's your Milos storyline.
I can sympathize with that.
Mm-hmm, for sure. Have you ever had an experience like that? I mean, I've regretted purchases before, but I've never had the.
No, but I notice sometimes when I'm working at the pharmacy, like if it's early in the morning or I just haven't gotten in a rhythm yet, I'll give somebody some advice. But if I don't give it with confidence, I feel like they're gonna walk away and think of me as a Milos type. Like, that guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, I always think of that when I'm back there.
You should adopt that. I don't know what it is, that Eastern European accent he has going on.
Another drug for Vinnie!
Now, probably the most interesting bit of trivia to come out of this episode is the filming of the tennis court sequences. This definitely feels like a later Seinfeld episode because you have this huge tennis court. I always thought they went to an actual indoor tennis court somewhere in LA, took over and filmed all these scenes there. According to one of the producers, LA doesn't have any indoor tennis courts. Everything's outside.
Well, it's gorgeous.
Right. So they managed to track down a tennis court outside, and they got a crane, which then held up this tarp to cover the course and kind of give it the feeling of an indoor court. The only issue with that is I think around the time this episode was filmed, there were some really bad storms in LA. I think this was right before El Nino or, around that time. So you got this torrential downpour while filming. And I don't think it was the noise really that was disrupting filming. It was the weight of all of the rain and water that was collecting on this tarp being held up by this crane. And while filming the scenes on the tennis court, the crew started to notice that this ceiling, this tarp, is getting heavier and heavier and lowering closer and closer.
Sagging.
To the ground. And the crane itself was getting lifted off the ground. Tom Azzari said the back tires were lifting off. It was only a matter of time until this tarp collapsed. So, the decision was made after they got the master shots, the big wide shots of the tennis court. Let's scrap production and kind of recreate the tennis courts inside on the stage. Mm-hmm. And apparently when the crew and cast left the tennis courts, that's when it all fell in. So
that's a shame.
Apparently it was the most dangerous moment in all of Seinfeld production because it came so close to actually injuring people.
Yeah. So
did you ever notice that, the tennis scenes, some are filmed outside and some are filmed on the stage?
Rewatching the episode, I really didn't pick up on anything out of the ordinary, other than, I could tell when they were inside because of the water that had collected.
Right. There's some shots of pools of water on the ground. That's when you're outside. I think you can see the set is a lot smaller than the actual tennis court. Okay. You really notice it, I think, at the end, when Kramer arrives and he's like, "Shell back." But yeah, pretty crazy stuff, right? Anything else you want to talk about here before we get started?
Well, you mentioned, we got a storyline about a tennis racket, or at least a purchase of a tennis racket. It got me thinking, what other Seinfeld-related tennis stories are there that we've seen so far?
That's a good question. Well, the first one that leaps to mind is the lineswoman, right?
The BL, yep, Laura, the lineswoman. I can think of a tennis racket specific storyline.
The brew line.
Mr. Pitt's match with Ethel Kennedy.
Yeah, it's a shame that Jerry, it would have been better if Jerry bought a brew line racket. I don't know if that would make sense, but
now, and then in the switch, aren't they playing tennis, or Jerry makes that crack about next time let's play on the table. It'll be a lot shorter or something.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Maybe they're playing
racquetball.
Racquetball, yeah.
Damn. Okay, anything else tennis wise?
Yeah, it was kind of weird actually to see them play tennis. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're in their casual workout clothes. Elaine has tennis shoes on. Not her leotard. So it was cool to see them on location in a way. Mm-hmm. And just like when you see them playing baseball.
I do love the health club centered episodes, whether it's Elaine spotting JFK Jr. or the Implant,
Jimmy.
Yeah, I like that as a setting for the Seinfeld characters. So I'm glad we're returning to it. Well, let's get started here, Vinny, with our first scene here. We're in a Yankee Stadium conference room. George is at this meeting and just really going to town on this plate of shrimp, talking mid-bite, which leads a coworker named Riley to call him out and say the infamous line,
"Hey, George, the ocean called. They're running out of shrimp."
And the room erupts in laughter, and George is just left sitting there, embarrassed, nothing to say. I think he actually has shrimp still in his mouth.
Yeah, and I really take notice of kind of George's disposition now versus later, because he seems unfazed by putting all these shrimp in his mouth. But then you can see later, he's like got the scowl on his face, like he's like waiting to pounce on, like he's waiting for Riley he's trying to bait him so that he can pounce later on. It's kind of cool to see, before and after. And
it kind of tracks too with George's eating habits, right? This gets brought up every once in a while. I always think of the fix-up with the spaghetti.
Mm-hmm. And then you got George eating ice cream at the tennis match.
Oh yeah, there's a new invention. It's called the napkin.
With Miss Natalia Baldoni. And
later he's driving home from work and replaying this incident in his head where Riley made that comment, and he's muttering to himself, really upset. And he thinks of a comeback he should have used in the meeting. And of course, he gets pissed off at himself. That's what I should have said. Damn it. This happens to you, right? I mean, this happens to everyone.
Yeah. This is like a very relatable, and again, it figures it's coming from Peter Melman because it's something, I always say small scale. It doesn't mean it's small potatoes, but just like something that goes on in our psyche that we think about in our daily interactions that, damn, I should have said that. That would have been better.
It's such a great thing that I think everyone can relate to, especially the idea of beating yourself up for not saying it in the moment.
So we got a couple guys that we're introduced to in the scene. We have Richard Livingston, who plays Bill. He's the older gentleman who kind of sets the scene off.
Yeah, well, and sorry to interrupt, but really that's where Wilhelm should be.
Yeah, what's the deal with Wilhelm?
Oh, maybe Wilhelm's still with the carpet cleaners, I guess?
Or he's in the nut house, yeah. So Richard Livingston, who's in Cocktail, Indecent Proposal, as well as Days of Our Lives. And I had take issue with something he said. His line is, well, if the big man wants a new scoreboard, I don't want to be the one to tell him no. And I don't like that they said big man, and I assume they removed Steinbrenner and put out big man because they don't want the audience to wonder, hey, how come where's Steinbrenner? How come we haven't seen Steinbrenner this season, because the Larry left.
Yeah,
and that's just
interesting.
That bugs me that shows would do this because I feel like they take the audience for granted. Like we're not gonna miss. It doesn't. Here I am trying to say we're not stupid, and I'm sounding like a moron as I try and say this.
Let me take the stupid mantle from you for a second. I'm very good at being stupid. Dude, it really hasn't been until this podcast where I've realized how Steinbrenner is completely absent since Larry left. Yes, we will see him eventually, but compared to season 6 and 7, it's crazy.
And that, man, they were just flying back then because I almost feel that's probably why they wrote George out of this job and made him move on to Play Now next season because they didn't want to, deal with Steinbrenner issues,
Mm-hmm, for sure.
It's very similar if you watch the season of The Office after Michael left, that when they're interviewing new bosses, all the characters are always like, I used to work for a boss that was infantile. They rarely would say Michael, and I felt like that was, again, the writers, either the network told them, don't mention an old character that's no longer with the show.
Oh, that's okay. Now
keep it generic. So I don't know. I wish they would own up to it. Michael's gone, or Steinbrenner's. Well, at this point, he's not gone yet. But you know what I mean.
I totally do. With The Office, now I see what you're talking about now because Michael or
Steve
Carell, his absence is felt in a major way when he leaves that show. And whereas this, with Seinfeld, I feel like there's so much happening and there's so many bigger characters that I don't feel like you notice Steinbrenner's absence as much. But again, solid point. It's too bad they didn't say Big Stein. Hey, maybe they didn't want Ben Stein to feel like, I got to compete with another Stein out there.
Now I'm with you. Okay, we're back on track here. Riley is played by actor Joel Polis. He was in The Thing. He was in The Rookie, as well as a 1985 Twilight Zone episode. The segment was called The Uncle Devil Show.
Oh, boy.
I don't know if that rings a bell for you.
Not the 80s. Yeah, not as... but the Thing I'm very familiar with. I had no idea he was in that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was about 15 years before this, so maybe he had, like...
Rich,
full head of hair, yeah.
Yep, we think alike. And do you ever use the structure of, hey, so-and-so, the blank called, they're running out of blank? Do you use that in your everyday conversation?
Every day? No. I don't even think I've used that. Or have I? Because it feels familiar. It feels like you could
That's why I do it.
Replace the blank with anything.
I do it with Kelly all the time. If we're on the last bit of ketchup, I'll say Italy called. They're running out of tomatoes, and it usually, I like to try and play with that structure, and it usually gets a laugh.
Oh, very good.
So try it; it's fun.
Kind of like on that idea of like ketchup, like, oh, do you want some fries to go with that ketchup? That's
Exactly.
typically I would use. But let's move over to the New York Health and Racket Club. I'm not sure if we've been here before. We get some material later, like this isn't Jerry's usual place. Like maybe there was some other health club they would go to.
Well,
in those other
we're gonna learn.
episodes.
We're gonna learn why.
Right. What George used up all of his free passes.
I like that.
All right, so we got this new location here, and Jerry and George are going to play some tennis. And as they're making their way through the club, he tells Jerry about Riley's zing and how he followed it up with this killer comeback.
Well, the jerk store called, and they're running out of you.
Really? That's great. You said that to him?
Well, actually, I thought it up on the way over here.
Oh, that's not quite the same.
No, it's not.
And what's kind of odd here is Jerry's reaction to the jerk store comeback, because he says, hey, that's great, like nice comeback, but later on he won't say it's horrible. Elaine's really the one to say that. But
Well, there are no jerk stores, Matt.
right, it's interesting how Jerry seems to have like a good reaction
shift.
to it.
Yeah. I think what's going on is Jerry liked that George was so quick on the draw to give a comeback.
Oh, good point.
Regardless of it being a mediocre one.
For sure. So, it's really killing George that he didn't use that comeback to smoke Riley. So, he goes to get ready for the tennis match, and Jerry stops by in the, I guess, the pro shop, right? The store to pick up a can of balls. And he meets this employee, Milos. And, nothing really funny in this clip here, but I just think it's good to hear what this guy sounds like.
Hello, my name is Milosh. How can I help you?
I need a can of balls.
Can of balls for the nice guy. You don't plan to hit these balls with that racket, do you?
I can't figure out what country this guy is from, but I assume like Eastern Europe, Czech Republic, or like...
Perhaps. The actress
Serbia.
we're going to meet who plays his wife is from Bosnia. So
Okay.
if we want, we can say he's from Bosnia.
Yeah, but just, anywhere like Eastern Europe. I know it's a big area. The accent, man, just sells this character so well. I can't...
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the actor's idea or, Andy and Greg told him, we need like some kind of accent for you.
Yeah. From what I recall, we'll get into this now, I guess. Mark Herlick is the actor who plays Milos. And when he came into the audition, Greg Cavett and Andy Robbins said, well, he pretty much had the voice, pretty close to what they were envisioning. But they were thinking of a guy with shorter hair. And Mark Herlick had just come from doing a movie where he had to grow his hair out. And the writers asked him if he'd be willing to cut his hair. And he said no. Oh. And he still ended up getting the job despite, usually an actor will go along with the show's request, to get the gig. But I guess the accent was already in the script, or it was written as having an accent.
Okay, cool. Well, I love it, man. Once again, one of my favorite single shot characters. Would you put him in like top 10 of favorite single shots? Or
he's very memorable. You know how I feel about these lists.
Right.
But he might be in like the 10 to 20 range maybe for me.
Oh, very impressive.
But Mark Herlick, Election, Jurassic Park 3, several episodes of Big Bang Theory. I remember spotting him in a Breaking Bad episode, I think. So he's been in a lot of stuff.
Yes. That always took me by surprise when it was a thing for a while. Like, oh my gosh, like Bob Odenkirk, Bryan Cranston, Anna Gunn, all these people were in Seinfeld and Breaking Bad. And he is one of those actors, most people don't realize. I think he played a doctor in Breaking Bad.
I remember.
But,
well, because he doesn't have an accent, his hair's shorter, but the voice is still similar. You can what?
I am Dr. Milos. Well, I think he's just fantastic. And, in this scene, this opening scene, not much humor here, but the gist of it is he spots Jerry's, old crummy racket, and he thinks that it's time for retiring that thing. More to come later. Let's cut over to one of my favorite Seinfeld locations from the exterior. This is Champagne Video. It's been used before in Seinfeld. We saw it in the smelly car, which is, do you remember how it factored in?
Rochelle.
Yeah, right, yeah. George was returning Rochelle. He runs into Susan, finds out she's a lesbian. And then we see it again in the couch. Do you remember how it factored into that episode?
We see Champagne Video, the couch. Oh, Breakfast at Tiffany's.
There you go. Very
Joe
good.
Temple. Patton Oswalt.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think this might be the last time we see Champagne Video. I'm not sure. The store closed, I think, back in 2008, 2009. It was on the Upper West Side, near Jerry's apartment, so it tracks. But it just, I don't know. This is one of those locations I wish I could have just seen before, it changed. But well, Elaine is checking out this wall of staff picks. The employees there have picked their favorite movies. When Kramer arrives and, surprises her.
Checking out the staff picks, Miss Bennis.
Oh, hey. Yeah, this Vincent guy, he is the best. He and I have the exact same taste in movies.
Oh, Vincent is an art house goon. I stick to the jean rack.
Gene? Oh, he's so stupid and mainstream.
I've seen all this, so I went with the Kramer pick.
The Other Side of Darkness. Huh, I never heard of that one.
Yeah, it went straight to video. That makes me the premier.
So I guess Kramer finally learned how to pronounce Elaine's last name.
Oh, not Bennett?
Yeah. So he knows now, jackass, that it's Bennis.
Yeah.
And this scene always reminds me, there is a wonderful little blooper that comes out of it in which Michael, the line is, Vincent is an art house goon. For some reason, it gets jumbled in his head, and he keeps saying, like, heart house goon or har house. And he's trying so hard to get it out, but it just comes out, reverse. So check out that blooper.
Oh, should we check it out right now?
Please.
Okay.
You checking out the staff picks, Miss Bennis?
Oh, hey. Yeah, this Vincent guy here, he's the best. He and I have the exact same taste in movies.
Oh, Vincent is a house art goon. Well, Vincent is a harse.
Go ahead, sorry.
What else we got? And I just, for the hell of it, I wanted to look up. I was, Seinfeld is, known now for coming up with these great fictional movie titles. Mm-hmm. But The Other Side of Darkness, doesn't that sound like it could be a real movie?
Really sounds like a Twilight Zone episode.
Okay. Yeah. I looked it up, and it is a fictional title, but there is a Blade cartoon, I believe, from 2012, an episode called The Other Side of Darkness.
Oh.
Harold Perrineau, remember from Oz, the narrator in Oz?
Yeah, from Lost. Mm-hmm.
He plays Blade in this cartoon series.
Oh, wild. That had to be a nod to Seinfeld, right?
I would hope so. Mm-hmm. Don't you miss going to video stores? I remember that being such a treat when you'd go into. We had it was called Star World Video, and it's one of those really generic looking movie stores. And then of course Blockbuster came around, but you'd see the wall of new VHS movies, and they'd have a whole section devoted to this one movie that had just come out. Yeah. And usually you'd see you'd always see the plastic video case behind the actual box. Mm-hmm. So when you saw them all pressed up against the wall, you're like, oh, they're sold out. But if you saw one box jutting out, that meant that, oh, there's one copy left. That feeling is so, I get chills just thinking about it. And it's a shame that you can't really experience that nowadays with things streaming or Redbox or, but I'm watching the scene and I'm like, oh man, what a thrill it was to go and even just peruse movie titles and pick up the box, hold it in your hand, look in the back.
I feel the exact same way. In fact, when I was younger, not old enough to have a real job, I remember watching the movie Scream, and my favorite character, Randy, the movie guy, worked at a video store. And I remember telling my parents, I'm like, when I'm old enough to have a job, I'm going to work at the video store. I just thought that was the coolest job ever. And it didn't really fulfill that. I wound up working at a movie theater, but the same thing, man. I love the idea of video stores and looking at all the titles and taking it to the clerk and late fees.
but it's a simpler time.
If you need to, relive those glory days, you can always stop by your local library.
That's true.
I still rent. Actually, I had to pay, I think, a hefty late fee when you were visiting.
I have $15, I recall.
It was a lot. Yeah, they charge a lot for Blu-rays that are late. But something a little more interesting about this episode, though, you get a list or the wall of other employees at Champagne Video. Of course, you've got Gene and Vincent. Vincent is the art house goon. Gene is more like mainstream crap. But you've also got Elizabeth, Serena, Mary Ellen, and Colin.
Okay.
Maybe Patton Oswalt is Colin? Maybe?
Perhaps. Mary Ellen. Serena. There's Sienna. I'm trying to think of names we've encountered, in previous episodes.
Have we ever met an Elizabeth on Seinfeld?
I don't think we have, and that's quite a common name.
Right. Maybe there's a Liz, but yeah, I don't know. Weird stuff. Let's go over to Jerry's apartment the next day. Kramer bursts in, really stressed out from watching The Other Side of Darkness. As I mentioned, it's about this woman who falls into a coma, and he wasn't able to finish it because he felt compelled to write up his will, and he gives it to Jerry.
I, Cosmo Kramer, having just seen the movie The Other Side of Darkness, and not wanting to be in a coma like that lady in the movie, hereby want Jerry Seinfeld to remove my life support, feeding machine, lung blower, etc., etc., etc.
And we should also mention, this is a handwritten note.
Yeah.
What looks like a piece of paper, torn out of a notebook. We'll find out what it is. But, Jerry points out that this note isn't really a legally binding document, even if Kramer were to type it up. So, why doesn't he just talk to a lawyer like Jackie Childs?
He put a restraining order on me. I'm not allowed within 200 feet of his office. I couldn't even give him his Christmas present. I wonder what he would have got him for Christmas. Maybe a box of cigars?
Yeah, maybe I could see that.
Golf balls?
Some balm. I completely forgot in this episode that Jackie put a restraining order on Kramer because it sort of explains why we never see the character until the finale.
Well, that was one of the most public yet of his many humiliations last episode we saw.
Well, at one point here, Kramer notices the new racket that Jerry purchased. Apparently, Milos told him it's the only racket he plays with. So, Kramer takes a few practice swings and seems very quick to throw Jerry's old one in the trash.
And before we go on, kudos to Michael, because he was able to generate the sound of a ball hitting the racket as well as the swoosh sound. Oh. And I tried to recreate it. It's damn near impossible.
That's pretty good.
But Michael makes it so you can hear a ball hitting a racket come out of his mouth. Can't do it.
Well, before we leave here, Jerry notices that the piece of paper with Kramer's will on it is actually the Z page from his address book.
Yeah, I put all your Z's on the weights and measures page.
And that's where you get the... All right, let's get over to Elaine's apartment here. She's sitting in bed finishing up the video she rented, which I don't think we got a title for this one. But she's wiping away tears. She's obviously very moved by what she watched.
Bravo, Vincent. Bravo. What?
Did you enjoy the movie?
Who is this?
It's Vincent.
Vincent's pics?
The same.
One of our favorite lines there at the end. The same.
Vincent's pics. And I finally get a namesake in Seinfeld.
Yeah, yes, how do you feel about that?
I wish it was a better character representing the Vincents, but I'll take it.
Well, the name is very memorable. So
yes,
you got that
yes,
going
it
for
is.
you.
And Elaine had a crush on him, so we got that going. But the rest of the episode's downhill from here.
Right. Now, do you want to talk about the voice of Vincent here?
Yes. As of now, we hear the voice of Vincent, and he is voiced by Robbie Benson. And when looking upon his IMDb page, this guy is both an actor and director. I noticed he did a couple episodes of Friends, as well as a bunch of Ellen episodes, but lots of voice work, including voicing the Beast from Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, I found that so fascinating because the later scene when Elaine, goes to Vincent's apartment, there was something about like that scene and the voice that, I'm not kidding, it reminded me of the Disney film, and yeah, that just blew my mind. Like, oh my God, he's the Beast. There's something about like a guy who's like, hiding in the shadows, and this woman, coming into his world. I don't know. Leave me alone. All right.
Does he have acne too?
The Beast?
Yeah.
He's probably got some skin issues. All right, let's move over to the where are we now? Oh, the tennis court, basically at the Health and Racket Club. Elaine is talking to Jerry. They're finishing up their game of tennis, and apparently this Vincent guy got her name and number off the store computer, and they wound up talking for 2 hours. She wants to meet him because he's rarely at the store. She doesn't even know what he looks like. And while they're chatting, this tennis ball keeps bouncing over to them. There's some guy, playing nearby. He's just horrible. He
Little help.
he can't catch the ball when they toss it back to him. And after a few interruptions, Jerry gets really frustrated, and he, throws the ball back to the guy and finds out, oh my God, it's Milos. Milos sucks. So,
Hey, how you doing? I didn't notice this until my rewatch today. While Jerry and Elaine are talking, you can see in the background, very blurry, but Milos falls down trying to go for a ball. I never noticed that before. I noticed him like missing and hitting it towards them, but take notice early on in the scene, he falls down in the background.
he should go to the doctor. I think he's got like some...
Maybe he's got an equilibrium thing.
Yeah. Anyhow, Jerry finds out Milos is terrible at tennis, and we cut over to his apartment. Got a long clip to play here. It's about 2 minutes, but I think it's worth it.
Ooh.
So he was bad. What do you care?
Elaine, I paid $200 for this racket. Because he said it's the only one he plays with. He could have played just as well with a log.
Hey. All right, I talked to this lawyer guy, Shelbick. Now, he's going to set me up, but you got to come with me to be the executor.
The executor of what?
Kramer wants to die with dignity.
There's a feather in your cap.
I don't want to be a vegetable, Elaine. I just want out.
Sometimes in life, the gods smile upon you, my friends.
Did you get someone to take that Canadian quarter?
I got another meeting with Riley. Whole new audience, and I bet I can get him to try that line again.
Who is Riley?
George was scarfing shrimp at this meeting, and this guy says, "Hey, George, the ocean called. They're running out of shrimp."
Listen to the comeback. Oh, yeah? Well, the jerk store called. They're running out of you. Well, you gotta be kidding me.
How about this one? How about your cranium called? It's got some space to rent.
What does that mean?
Hey, here you go. Hey, Riley, the zoo called. You're due back by 6.
No, you're not helping me.
Look, just tell him you had sex with his wife. That'll get him.
I'm not looking for another line. I got the line.
Look, George, just think about it. You're married. How would you feel if somebody says to you that they just had sex?
All right. You see, this is why I hate writing with a large group. Everybody has their own little opinions, and it all gets homogenized, and you lose the whole edge of it. I'm going with jerk store. Jerk store is the line. Jerk store. Yes.
Now, is this the last time the audience applauds a character's performance, mid-scene?
I noticed that as well. It's maybe then the finale, possibly. I don't know. Yeah, but it's very noticeable, wasn't it?
Yeah, it takes me back to those earlier episodes, right? Where
Stop it. Stop clapping, everybody.
Yeah.
Got to get on with the show.
Where the characters kind of have to wait there awkwardly until it dies down. But definitely worth it. I think Jason just does such a fantastic job this week.
I really like from that clip, that 2-minute clip you just played, every character had a really memorable line, to follow the next one. So Kramer wants to die with dignity. There's a feather in your cap. I don't want to be a vegetable, Lane. I just want out. And then George comes in with, sometimes in life, the gods smile upon you, my friends. Like each person contributed a really signature line in that exchange.
Very memorable stuff.
I dug it.
So I thought you were getting at the everyone had a contribution to the comeback.
Well, that too.
From your cranium called, the zoo called, you had sex with his wife. It's just...
Yeah, it's funny because Kramer kind of seems a little bit slow, like he's not getting any of these ribs, and then all of a sudden he wants to chime in with, that'll kid him.
So, I'm glad you brought that up. I cannot tell what Michael says there. That'll kid him, that'll kill him, and then the subtitles on the DVD says, that'll get him.
I thought it was kid, K-I-D.
That'll kid him. Okay.
I hear kid.
All right.
I could understand kill, and what was the other one?
That'll get him.
No, that's not it.
Get him. So this, whole exchange of, suggestions and George being like, no, or just the frustration reminds me of two things here. So bear with me. Two things. First one is the pretzels are making me thirsty scene from the alternate side back in season 3. You've got all 4 characters in the kitchen, each with their own delivery, their own unique take, and George's is the one that stinks.
You are absolutely right. They all contribute.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar.
And then also reminds me of the cartoon episode where in that episode, Elaine has the cartoon of the pig at the complaint counter and says, I wish I were taller. Mm-hmm. And everyone has what was it? I can't find my receipt. My place is a sty. Here's
a trivia flashback.
Here's a funny connection here. Kramer says, my wife is a slut. So it's another zing about someone's wife.
Interesting. We can delve more into the psyche of Cosmo Kramer.
Right. Well, you know how he feels about marriage and whatnot. So
prisons.
Yeah. Anyways, a lot to throw out there.
And when George is jerk store's the line. You can see Jerry has his back turned in that scene, but you can tell he's laughing at Jason's performance.
Oh, nice. That's great. Yeah, and we brought this up earlier in trivia. This whole scene is pretty much the commentary on writing for a show like Seinfeld early on, where it's pretty much you with your computer in your office versus other sitcoms where you have a bunch of writers around a table throwing out ideas. So, good stuff here. Oh, sorry, one last thing. When Kramer enters the apartment, where does he say? He's like, hey, I talked to this lawyer guy. Not Shellback or Shellbach. He calls him Shellbick.
Shellbig. I heard it too, because Shellback is what we hear later on.
Oh, you heard big? Like with
I heard Shellbig.
Shellbig. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hearing all these different things this week.
And then he says executor. Isn't it executor?
Or as, I don't know, some Star Wars fans out there might have grown up calling Vader's Star Destroyer the Executor, which I did as a kid. Mm-hmm. And then I learned there's no such thing as an executor. So, Kramer sees that Jerry took his old racket out of the trash and he tosses the piece of junk away again. From all that, doesn't think that Jerry is the right guy to be the executor of his will if he's, holding on to all of this old stuff.
Trust me, Kramer, given the legal opportunity, I will kill you.
Wish I could believe you.
He does the little, fist up to the chin and
Chin
then
tap, yeah.
Yeah.
It's sweet. It's a lovely moment. That's the kind of stuff that would make me crack up in a scene. Mm-hmm. I think the most. Just being so up close to Michael there and him being affectionate. Yeah. So Kramer turns to Elaine and asks if, she'd like to be the executor. She's a calculating, cold-hearted businesswoman, and when there's dirty work to be done, she doesn't mind stomping on a few throats.
Oh, come on. She's so flattered in that moment.
So let's cut over to Shellback's office. Kramer and Elaine are meeting with this lawyer here.
Situation number 4. You're breathing on your own, you're conscious, but with no muscular function.
Well, would I be able to communicate?
I don't see how.
I don't like the sound of this one.
Yeah, let's pull the cord.
Yank it like you're starting a mower.
Moving on. You have liver, kidneys, and gallbladder, but no central nervous system.
Well, I gotta have a central nervous system.
Okay. One lung, blind, and you're eating through a tube.
No, that's not my style.
Boring.
All right. You can eat, but machines do everything else.
I'd stick.
Yeah, stick. Because I could still go to the coffee shop.
That's right.
I'm so happy that they managed to get Ben Stein in a Seinfeld episode.
He works really well, doesn't he?
He does. Always been a big fan of this guy. But that delivery, you've heard it in the Dry Eyes commercials, or everything he does is, "Hi, I'm Ben Stein." But it works.
Mm-hmm. And he has a real interesting career, because I thought he was just this. I don't know if he was a comedian, from Ferris Bueller and all the TV shows and stuff. I thought he was just some actor of some sort or a writer, but yeah, he's had a really interesting career. He has a law degree. He wrote speeches for Nixon and Ford. Does a lot of stuff, which is pretty interesting.
And Jimmy Kimmel used to be his, sidekick or protege on When Ben Stein's Money, and now Jimmy Kimmel's hosting his own show.
There you go. I love all of the topics that he goes through. You're breathing on your own, you're conscious, but with no muscular function.
Mm-hmm.
What else is there? You have liver, kidneys, and gallbladder, but no central nervous system.
One lung, blind, and you're eating out of a tube. Or through a tube.
All right, you can eat, but machines do everything else. Which one would you stick with?
Well, I love that Kramer's, he's solely thinking on if he can still go to the coffee shop. Not that his, life's been turned around, but hey, he can still go to the gang, with the gang to Monks.
Yeah, right. You just wheel Kramer in. Oh, man.
Did you notice, Matt, on the wall in Shellback's office, what he has hanging up there?
No, what does he got?
He has masks, which very much resemble the masks we see in the Mask movie.
Oh, my God.
Ben Stein was in The Mask, and he played an author who wrote a book about masks called The Masks We Wear. His name, Dr. Arthur Newman.
Wow, look at you.
That's correct, Wendy. We all wear masks, metaphorically speaking. But I don't know. That was kind of cool. Look at the masks in his office and then watch The Mask, which I'm going to do tonight. Tell me what you think.
Well done. Any memorable line from this scene? Elaine has some killer ones.
Yeah. I think her usage of the Sprite can to...
That's the one.
Like you're starting a mower.
And we found out from some great DVD commentary that Dave Mendel was known to, on occasion, whether he didn't like an idea in the writer's room or whenever he'd go out to eat with the guys and hear the specials, he would lean back in his chair and go, "Boring."
That's pretty cool. They, just a moment among friends, they're going to put in the show like that.
I'm going to try to do that more often.
Yeah.
And hey, listeners at home, when you listen to our show, you can say the same thing.
Lean back in your chair. Yep.
All right, let's cut over to the pro shop here. Milos called Jerry to meet. Turns out, he could lose his business if anyone found out about his poor tennis skills. So he offers Jerry an extra year membership to the health club, if he doesn't say anything. So,
No charge.
What's that?
No charge.
No charge, yeah. So Milos goes to another room briefly when Jerry notices this attractive woman in the store giving him a look.
Game, set, and match, huh, Milos?
Another great line. Turns out Milos spoke to someone and he can't offer this membership. So, he tries to offer Jerry, "I'll refund your money," but, Jerry doesn't really seem to care about the money. He just doesn't like the feeling that he was taken advantage of by such a horrible tennis player. So, Milos is really nervous at this point, and he kind of shushes Jerry like, "Hey, keep it down. And
I got a business around here.
Right. And he whispers, "Jerry, I'll make it up to you." And Jerry's like, "Whatever." And, as he leaves, he walks by this attractive woman.
Tennis, anyone? Oh, stop.
So I kind of botched that scene summary there. There's a lot going on, but on the surface, I always understood what was going on with Milos. He runs the store. He has some reputation that he's a great tennis player, and he's worried it's going to affect his business. I totally get it. Mm-hmm. However, when you watch the scene, there are a lot of weird cuts. First time I ever noticed this. Almost like there's a lot of material missing from this scene. Did you get that vibe at all?
A little, especially he's like, free membership 1 year, and then he walks back. He comes right back out.
Well, that's the worst part.
Instantaneously.
He goes in the door, turns around, comes right out. I can't offer it, sorry. Looks like you're having a real conversation in there.
Same thing.
Let's go over to Champagne Video here. Elaine and Kramer are back to checking out the staff picks.
Oh, this is the one Vincent told me about. The pain and the yearning. An old woman experiences pain and yearning. 192 minutes.
It's a lot of yearning.
These movies are great, but they're just so emotionally exhausting.
Yeah, well, what you need is some summertime adolescent hijinks.
Really?
Let's see what Dr. Jean prescribes, huh? Oh, here. Yeah, Weekend at Bernie's, too. Now, that's an hilarious premise.
Huh. Well,
Yeah,
I could use a chuckle.
here.
What are you getting?
Nothing. I'm gonna finish watching The Other Side of Darkness.
Oh, how much you got left?
Yeah, about 2 hours. Yeah, she shot in that coma pretty quick.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of Kramer and Elaine stuff this week. It's kind of nice.
Like it. Yeah, that's why I'm playing a lot of their clips, because we don't really get these characters together all that much, and there's not a whole lot of development with their characters. It's like the same scene. They're just looking at the wall, but I just love the deliveries this week. Vincent is an art house goon to, let's see what Dr. Jean prescribes.
How about, that's a lot of yearning, huh? This scene also produced a blooper in which Michael kind of stumbled, and the middle island of movies that are set up is on wheels. So he kind of fell into that, and that display kind of rolled, and Michael rolled with it.
Oh, nice.
But Michael tried to keep the scene going. Meanwhile, Julia is in tears.
Of course. Well, again, we'll include a link in our show notes if anyone wants to check out those bloopers.
How much does Kramer have left to watch of Heart of Darkness, or The Other Side of Darkness?
2 hours?
About 2 hours.
But, at one point here, as we heard in the clip, Elaine mentions another fake movie title. This one is called The Pain and the Yearning. And I've asked that question at trivia before. An old woman, like, what movie title is described as an old woman experiences pain and yearning? Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't get it right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? That's very surprising.
Yeah, shocking. I always say don't overthink it. And
I noticed that in trivia you gave nice hints to people for certain clues, which I appreciated.
Yeah, I want everyone to do well up until like the last round, but yeah, it's hard. Mm. Everyone's at different levels.
Yeah.
We also get another movie in this episode. However, this is a real movie, Weekend at Bernie's 2.
One of my favorites.
I think isn't that the voodoo one?
Yes.
Where it's like on the island?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you think of another sequel mentioned in a video store?
I'm already ahead of you. Cocoon 2, The Return.
Yeah, I guess they didn't like it up there.
I gotta have a lo mein.
So let's cut over to Elaine's apartment here. Since she picked up Weekend at Bernie's 2, she is shouting at the TV, not enjoying it at all.
Bernie's dead, you morons. Just because he's wearing sunglasses, he looks alive? How long is this weekend anyway?
And the phone rings. It's Vincent.
How was the movie, Elaine?
Yeah, he is not. It's kind of scary. He's not happy that she went with a Jean pick. Thought they had something special going. And as Elaine tries to explain herself, Vincent hangs up. Very cold move there, Vinny. I don't like what you did to Elaine.
Did you notice how she... Oh, thanks. Let me in with this bastard. Did you notice how Elaine equated her watching a movie of Jean's? It was like cheating on Vincent. I'm not even going to rewind it.
And you're going to see Vincent's response here in a couple of scenes, how he feels about the whole experience. Well, let's cut over to Yankee Stadium. George is getting ready for his comeback. He's arranged another meeting for Riley, and he's shoveling all the shrimp into his mouth when the meeting starts, and there's no Riley. Turns out he doesn't work there anymore. And George didn't know anything about that.
We only wake you up for the important meetings.
That is a good insult. I like that one.
Mm-hmm. That's Stan Sellers plays McAdam. He's the one who gave George that little zing right there. He was in Dr. Dolittle, Triple X, State of the Union, and does a lot of ADR work as well. He did ADR on 2 Hunger Games movies.
Cool.
Very cool.
I don't know if you remember this, Vinny, but he has appeared in a Seinfeld episode before, hasn't he?
What? He did?
Do I have this right? I believe that this guy, Stan Sellers, right?
That's his name.
He appeared in the episode The Parking Space. He played one of the police officers that walk up to the car and, kind of debate whether it's in the right spot.
Are you sure?
Can you double check that?
Parking space. Parking space. Parking space. Maddie, you are right. He played cop number 2.
Ha-cha-cha.
Ha-cha-cha. That's a fun term to say now.
Excellent. So we have someone closing out their dip here. Going all the way back to season 3. That is a...
That's a big dip.
Yeah, it's a big...
Look at a dip on that guy.
All right.
That's a huge dip.
Let's shift gears here to a deleted scene. Did you get a chance to watch this?
Which one is this, George?
Yeah, George
Giorgio.
has like a fantasy sequence about what it's going to be like to zing Riley.
Oh, yes, I did.
Why don't you describe it for the listeners here? Play the clip, I guess.
Please. George is sitting at the counter at Monk's by himself, and he's kind of stewing about what he could have said, and then he starts to think about what could have been.
Right, and there's one important thing to note in George's fantasy of the meeting at Yankee Studios.
I always want to say studios now.
He has a full head of hair.
Yeah, and the wig doesn't look as good as when he previously wore it in what was that, the beard? Mm-hmm. But he in his fantasies he has hair.
Right.
So flame on.
Yeah, here we go.
Here you are, 1 shrimp salad.
Plenty of shrimp. Ocean's not running out of shrimp.
Hey, George. The ocean called. They're running out of shrimp.
Oh, yeah? Well, the jerk store called. They're running out of you. Hey, nobody busts my chops.
Congratulations, George. Number 1.
I am nothing.
Anything else?
No thanks.
Hey! You're still bald. Anything else?
No thanks.
And, you can't tell, but the Office, when they're celebrating his comeback, they give him, like, the World Series trophy.
Yes.
There's, like, champagne.
There's a woman lurching onto him, because he's so irresistible now with that zing. And everybody, I think, George has shrimp in his plate, and then Riley has a plate of broccoli, and Riley crumbles at the zing that he gets.
Yeah, I've got nothing.
But what's even more is George comes out of the that vision he has. And we see him now at Monk's, and he has a full head of hair. And you're kind of taken aback, like, what's going on? And the waitress, y'all done? And he has money, like, at the ready, like Mike Myers in Wayne's World. Cha-ching! And he places it down and kind of struts off. And then he fades back to reality where the waitress is asking him, are you ready?
Yeah.
And so I'm not doing it justice. You have to see it, but it's pretty good.
I think a lot of the deleted scenes are on YouTube, so if I can find a link, I'll include it in the show notes. But it's a fun one. It's zany, but it's pretty entertaining.
I liked it. I like to kind of see where they would go with, because we've seen dream sequences before in Seinfeld, but this one felt weird because within the sequence he had hair, which I get, but then he came out of the sequence and he still had hair. Then you finally see, it's like a boom, twist again. It's a Inception kind of thing. in Seinfeld and Shin.
Okay, moving on.
I'm getting tired.
Yeah, I could tell. It's a long episode. Let's cut to the street here. Jerry is walking to his apartment when he notices that woman from the pro shop waiting for him outside. Her name is Patty. You remember that?
Plays them at your acquaintance.
Yeah, this is a different Patty.
Oh, okay.
She's got an Eastern European accent. Apparently, Milos gave her Jerry's address.
Oh, that Milos.
I don't know why Jerry's little throwaway lines are really doing it for me, but Jerry asks her out for a cup of coffee. She just wants to go up to his apartment instead.
All right. Gotta be an easier way.
And let's briefly cut over to Kramer's apartment. He sits down with a bowl of spaghetti to finish up the rest of The Other Side of Darkness when he gets this insane twist in the movie.
Doctor, how's her coma?
Oh, exactly the same. Wait a minute. She's coming out of the coma. Mrs. Albright, can you hear me? Are you okay?
I feel so rested and refreshed. Get me a toothbrush.
What is it about that line?
Get me a tooth. Well, I'm sure her mouth is a little bit steamy, 98.6 degrees. Remember that commercial for like icebreakers?
That's how I always knew like what a healthy temperature was from that commercial.
But yeah, I guess a lot of bacteria's in her mouth, and she wants a brush. It cannot not be funny. So Kramer's watching The Other Side of Darkness. We do hear a doctor's voice. That is voiced by actor Robert Fuller. And apparently this guy was a big deal actor way back when. He was in a show called Emergency, and Andy Robin and Greg Cabot were huge fans of the show, and they were able to get this guy to voice the doctor. What's more interesting is Andy Robin had his wife Anna play Mrs. Albright. So she's the one who needs a toothbrush.
That's great. That is some good trivia.
Yeah.
Well, let's cut over, across the hall to Jerry's apartment. Patty cuts through the chit chat and just starts, trying to seduce Jerry, but she's unable to kiss him and just breaks down crying, sits on the couch, and she confesses she can't go through with this, not even for Milos. Turns out he's her husband.
Your husband?
And it's sad, but it's so funny how the actress goes, "Wah!" And she falls into the couch. Such a brief role or minor role, but she does such a good job, I think.
Yeah, she's distraught. She is played by Ivana Milosevic. She was in Casino Royale, Matt, as well as Vanilla Sky.
Yeah, dude, that blew my mind. She, for any Bond fans out there, she plays Le Chiffre's girlfriend who poisons Bond and almost gets her arm cut off in one scene.
Is her name Patty in the movie as well?
I don't know what her name is. I'm sure she has one on Wikipedia, but she's like one of those, Bond girls that unfortunately is sort of forgotten as the movie goes on.
Ivana Humpalot. No,
it works.
Pause. That's Austin Powers. It crosses over.
Let's we have an act break here, and let's cut to Jerry's apartment. At a later point, Jerry catches George up on what happened, and we get this great quote from George.
And so concerned was he that word of his poor tennis skills might leak out, he chose to offer you his wife as some sort of medieval sexual payola.
He's new around here.
And
George, as usual, wants his details. Come on, give me details, and is pretty disappointed that Jerry didn't actually sleep with Patty. And let's, shift gears to Riley here. Jerry says, it's probably better that he's gone since George never really had the right comeback anyway.
Are you insane? Jerk Store would have smoked that guy. Smoked him, I say.
So here we go, like a little pushback on, George's comeback. It didn't really, I guess, sit well with Jerry.
Mm-hmm. Sit well. Sit well.
So I heard Strickland, but then I realized you're doing Job, right?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Michael.
All right, Kramer bursts in and tells Jerry that the coma lady actually woke up at the end of The Other Side of Darkness.
Oh, I wanted to see that. Thanks a lot. How's Eric Roberts as the husband?
Oh, unforgettable.
What is this dialogue? Is wonderful.
I doing a lot of quotes this week, man. It's, I kind of put this episode up there with, I'm going to piss off some fans here with like the Soup Nazi, just in terms of like how popular it is, and how much it's just, I feel like the jerk store line is just so overplayed. But that aside, there are some wonderful bits of dialogue throughout.
Stellar.
Yeah, throughout this episode.
I think we used that Eric Roberts line while I visited you this trip.
Oh, if anyone doesn't know who Eric Roberts is, he's what is it?
Unforgettable as the husband.
No, he's
Julia Roberts'
brother,
cousin, brother, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
But he's in The Dark Knight.
Dark Knight?
He's just in Dark Knight, or is he in
Maroni? I think
Maroni.
Ramirez.
Yeah, it was Ramirez.
So.
Oh, he's also in Cable Guy.
Oh my God!
Too,
really?
if you remember. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He plays Stan and Sam Sweet.
Man, you're all about the 90s comedies today.
Thank you.
So Kramer apparently didn't know that it was possible to wake up from a coma. So
I didn't think it was possible not to know that.
So he wants to find Elaine since she's allowed to pull his plug. Oh, is that too dirty?
Whoa,
Okay,
Seinfeld After Dark. Whoa.
What are you, the boyfriend?
You just said that Kramer said that he didn't know it was possible to come out of a coma. And there's two discrepancies if we go back to season 3 that would refute what he just said.
What do you got?
We got a little suicide action. Martin comes out of his coma.
Oh, that's right, because he's like strangling Jerry at the end.
I want that vacuum cleaner. Yeah.
They were right here, Martin.
And then secondly, in the Keys, the biker that fell open, cracked his head wide open. That's taking Kramer to California.
Oh my God.
He went into a coma, and he must have survived.
That is a deep pull. Jeez.
So
that's the guy he has like the helmet on or the bandana.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
So maybe when Kramer got kicked in the head by Joe Davola, those memories went out of his head.
Cracked my head wide open. Isn't Kramer like, wah? Like, go around the bend.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, good call on the coma. Let's move over to Champagne Video here. Elaine arrives, here we go, to find out that all of Vincent's picks, all of his movie suggestions are the same 1988 movie, Betrayed, starring Deborah Winger and Tom Berenger as the husband. I'm saying he's not really the husband, but I read the synopsis. Apparently he's a suspect in this hate crime, in this murder, and Deborah Winger is the FBI agent who's investigating the case, and she kind of falls in love with him, and...
Okay.
It's not a comedy.
What? Betrayed? Oh, Vincent, I'm so sorry.
Listen, Elaine, I've changed my mind about the whole coma thing. Yeah, I decided I'm up for it.
Kramer, do you have any idea what you've done?
Excuse me.
What are you doing? What?
Vincent stopped making picks.
Well, how am I going to know what movies to see?
We have a wide variety of Gene picks.
Gene's trash.
I'm Gene.
Hi.
Kramer looks at Gene with a little admiration. He's a little bit starstruck, I think.
Yeah, he's almost like, whoa, this is the guy.
Yeah, that's Gene Hatz, who plays the manager. Or
Jeff Hatz, I think.
Jeff Hatz, yes. What did I say, Gene?
Mm-hmm.
What did I say, nipple? Jeff Hatz plays the manager, Gene.
Nice. He looked familiar. I didn't know if he has appeared in something that...
Nothing that I recognized.
Well, let's cut over to the pro shop here. The whole mess here with, Jerry finding out Milos is a bad tennis player, being sold the racket. His wife was trying to seduce him, and ultimately Jerry's like, dude, let's just forget it all. I have no intention of telling anyone what a bad tennis player you are. But Milos, this guy has a lot of problems. He's really depressed.
Thank you, but unfortunately I have much larger problems to fry. My wife, she has no respect for Milos anymore.
I guess that's a risky run when you dabble in the flesh trade. Why is Milos so needy in this scene? It's like... he's just always creating more problems for himself. I find it so frustrating.
Well, he concocted this scheme. It blew up in his face, and now his wife has lost respect for him.
God, and then he acts like such an later on the tennis court. It's so infuriating. But Milos has this idea, right? Patty loves tennis as much as he does. So, maybe if she sees him beat Jerry in tennis, he'll prove to her that he's still a man. I'm a man. So, Jerry agrees, but, doesn't want other girls to be around. He wants to be a man too. So
that's fair.
Let's, I feel like I'm moving kind of quick here. Sorry for that, but let's move over to Monks here. We're going to get a great clip of Jerry and Elaine grabbing some lunch.
So you hurt Vincent's feelings?
Look what came in the mail today.
What's this?
It's the play button off his VCR.
Boy, look how far back it goes. It's like a tooth.
So, guess where Mr. Ocean Phone turned up? He's working for Firestone in Akron, Ohio.
Ohio?
Yep. I'm leaving first thing tomorrow morning.
You're flying to Akron just to zing a guy?
Don't you understand? It's not about him. To have a line is perfect as jerk store, and to never use it. I couldn't live with myself.
See, there are no jerk stores. It's just a little confusing is all.
It's smart. It's a smart line, and a smart crowd will appreciate it. And I'm not gonna dumb it down for some bonehead mass audience. Not you.
Matt, I feel like we missed one on doing the trivia night. I feel like the grand prize should have been you giving out a VCR button as one of the prizes. Would have been sweet. I want the tooth one, like the real Seinfelds use.
I love that idea of comparing it to a tooth. I either use the iceberg analogy or the tooth analogy.
Okay.
There's a lot you don't see.
Why does George call him Mr. Ocean Phone?
Mr. Ocean Phone, yeah, very odd. The ocean called, so I guess that's the nickname. But it's a weird thing instead of just Riley.
How about the jerk? But yeah, okay, Ocean Phone.
And of course, that thing at the end there, that's some sort of commentary on
the average sitcom.
The average sitcom, or just, the average viewer at home.
They're the bonehead mass audience.
Of course.
I feel like I'm a bonehead mass audience at times.
Sometimes, yeah. All right, let's move on to Elaine's apartment here. Elaine is back to watching an old Vincent pick The Pain and the Yearning. And did you catch this dialogue here from the TV?
These brittle bones, how I long to rid of the pain.
There's your pain and yearning.
Okay.
And the phone rings. Who is it?
It's Vincent.
And the whole scene plays out like, I don't know, with a cheesy movie soundtrack from the TV. It kind of feels like something out of Rochelle, where you have this cheesy music and Elaine, really wants to meet, but Vincent pushes back. Can't have anyone see him.
Vincent, listen. I won't judge you the way everyone else does. You're strange and beautiful and sensitive. Let's have a look at you.
And Vincent... What is that last line? Let's have a look at you. Vincent agrees to meet, but asks if Elaine could pick up some stuff for him at the store since he hasn't been out in a while.
And Elaine's reaction, like just with her face, seems to kind of suggest, okay, like that's not too weird a request.
Can you think of another episode where Elaine meets a guy over the phone?
James. Talking about James?
Right. Yes, I am.
Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, are you sure Vincent isn't played by Peter Dinklage? Jury's still out on that.
The same.
So let's cut over briefly here to Kramer's car here. He's driving slowly as, cars are speeding past, honking their horn, and he's not taking any chances with his safety, Slow and steady wins the race. And he eventually makes it to Shellback's office, but hears from someone that he's at a tennis lesson. He's gone for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how funny this is, but I never picked up on her dialogue about the time.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, Kramer, or Mr. Kramer, you had a 10:30 appointment. It's now 2:30.
So did Kramer spring ahead several hours?
Well, no, I think the trip took so long getting there.
Oh, that's why.
Well,
I'm dumb.
No, I don't think you're that dumb, because there were other scenes of Kramer getting to the office that really showed how slowly he was moving. So
that's true. You're right.
After the car ride, he would park, and he made it to the lobby, and there's a janitor mopping the floor, and it's all wet, so he doesn't know what to do.
He doesn't want to fall and break his neck.
Exactly. So he gets on all fours, and he inches his way to the elevator. And then he's laying down, hits the button, doors open, and all these people get off. And he starts freaking out because they're almost stepping on him.
He doesn't want to get trampled, yeah.
Of course.
So him being late would still work, because Kramer is known to be late, or just he doesn't wear a watch. He tells time by the sun. But that joke now actually makes sense to me now, because you're right. It would have taken him so long to get there because he's trying to safeguard his life.
Let's cut over to the tennis court here. You got Patty and a small group of people watching as Milos serves the ball to Jerry. And how does this go down exactly? Milos barely gets it over the net, right?
Mm-hmm. Jerry is flat-footed, feet are planted into the ground, not even moving, and he just so delicately whiffs over the ball.
Too good.
Another game for Milos!
You're on fire today.
Hey, Patty, look at this guy. He's awful. He's not a man, this Jerry. He's not even married like I am.
Hey, Milos, I don't mind rolling over here, but could you lighten up on the not a man stuff?
Hey, everybody, look! The little chicken girl wants me to ease up. He can't handle it, so he cries like a woman.
This is full on Milos, right? Where he's so memorable and so irritating.
These are the lines that are fun to quote.
Another game for Milos.
He's not even a man. He's not even married like I am.
That is one of my favorites. He's not even married like me.
Okay.
All right. Great Milos quotes there, and I'm sure everyone remembers those so well. Let's cut over to Vincent's apartment here. Elaine arrives outside with a bag of groceries, and when she knocks, the door just opens a crack, and we're not able to see, the man on the other side.
Hello? Vincent?
Elaine?
I got what you asked.
Just leave it and go.
Well, can I come in?
No, go away. Now.
No. Vincent, don't shut me out. I know you feel what I feel.
Excuse me, can I help you?
Oh, damn it.
I'm here to see Vincent.
Well, I'm his mother. Vincent, what's going on here?
No, my acne!
Acne.
What do you have here? Vodka? Cigarettes? Fireworks? What kind of a sick woman brings this to a 15-year-old?
We have the same taste in movies.
Did he send you part of our VCR?
Vincent?
So we talked about there was a voice of Vincent earlier, and that was Robbie Benson. Now we actually see Vincent in the flesh, and that is played by an actor named Danny Strong. And I remember him from Gilmore Girls. He played Doyle.
Oh,
but he was also in he's also in Mad Men. But he was very young at the time, so they cast him to look like this young kid, and then they went and had Robbie Benson dub his lines over Danny Strong. Does that make sense?
Is that Robbie Benson also saying, "My acne"?
Tough one. Your call.
I think it is him, but
okay.
I always assumed that the actor Danny Strong delivered that line, but
it's tough, but it works really well. And then I like the little "here's Lainey" shot. They get so tight on her face. Somebody could make a Shining poster with Elaine, not miss a beat.
So I always wondered why they were so pushed in on her face there, and I thought it was just for like one of the cheesy dramatic movies she would rent. But apparently, if you look on the inside of the door, the side Vincent's on, it's unfinished. It's not painted. It just looks like plain wood. And that side of the set you never really were supposed to see, so they never, dressed it. Mm-hmm. So the reason it's so tight is they don't want to pull back all the way. You would see that it's, not a complete set. So
I kind of like it. That they were forced to do that to get that really tight shot of Elaine.
Yeah, it's very memorable. Can we go back to Danny Strong real quick?
Yeah.
So, I'd never heard of this guy and really never seen him in anything else. I don't watch Buffy, and I'm way behind on Gilmore Girls, but I looked at his IMDb page. Not only is he an actor, but he is a writer. He wrote Game Change, which is a great HBO movie, and he also worked on The Butler with Lee Daniels, and they went on to create Empire together.
Oh, geez.
So Danny Strong is one of the co-creators of Empire. This little kid.
Yeah, his acne.
It's wild, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, who would have thought? Anyways, in that scene, yeah, I think my acne line is the best, as well as the, oh, damn it.
I like that too.
And a solid trivia question. What 3 things does Elaine bring Vincent?
Cigarettes, fireworks, vodka.
Don't forget the vodka, yeah.
Elaine didn't forget the vodka.
Yeah. All right. So there's the big twist. Vincent is just a little kid. Should we move on to one of the final scenes here?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, we're on the tennis court. Jerry is, playing up how horrible he is, and, Milos just won't stop with the insults. What is it this time?
Look at the big baby. Hey, big baby, are you wetting yourself? Maybe it's time for you to be changed.
And Jerry gets fed up. He serves, catching Milos off guard.
Told you to knock it off.
Come on, what are you doing?
What's you doing, man? Come on. The big baby got lucky on that one.
It's so frustrating, but yeah, I love this side of Milos. Just, it's okay if he's an ass, but
nobody else.
Nobody else, yeah.
His hair is coming undone from his ponytail. He's getting frazzled.
Mm-hmm. And this is when, can't sell it on the podcast, but Kramer arrives and he sees Shellback, at his tennis lesson. Don't you love this sequence from Shellback?
Yeah, Kramer's walking, strutting his stuff, but I love Shellback. There's a shot of him, and he's like waving like a little child in his little polo shirt. He's like, "Oh, hey!"
He's kind of confused. He's like, "What?"
He's like, "Oh, my client is here at the tennis court."
What's the sequence of events? Because it cuts between a lot of stuff here.
Jerry serves yet again, and Milos misses, and his racket goes flying, and it's spinning in the air in slow motion. Kramer is walking towards Shellback, and
that expression on his face is he's like smiling, like yeah.
He's like, finally, I'm gonna get my life back. And Shellback is hitting balls from one of those automatic ball dispenser things. Mm-hmm. The racket flies into one of the tennis pros who's by the ball dispenser. The tennis pro collapses on the ball dispenser. It turns, and now it is pointed directly at Cosmo Kramer's coconut.
Racket. And all these tennis balls start firing into Kramer's head as he collapses on the ground. Yeah,
but you could tell it was clearly somebody throwing the tennis balls at Michael's head, because on the third one, when he's going down, the tennis ball goes much lower.
Yes, I'm so glad you noticed that. Like the tennis, it's like a maximum overdrive. Like it's the machine is trying to hit Kramer.
Mm-hmm. Machines.
Good call. And so those scenes we mentioned earlier that were filmed outside versus inside on the stage. This is the stage sequence, because the tennis courts just look a lot smaller.
Okay.
Than before.
So Kramer getting pelted in the head with tennis balls is what's going to send him into a coma, or potentially.
I guess
not a coma. He's just resting in the hospital, but still.
Do you think that first-time viewers see the racket and they think the racket's going to hit him?
That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Thought wrong.
but you get even more damage with those tennis balls. All right, let's get over to Firestone here. George sits down with Riley and his team. Of course, wolfing down a bunch of shrimp to bait Riley.
So, George, you're proposing a snow tire day at Yankee Stadium.
As long as I don't throw them on the field. Help yourself to some shrimp. I brought enough for everybody.
I have to say, this proposal doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Well, you never know. Let's see how many I can fit in my mouth.
You know, George, the ocean called. They're running out of shrimp.
Oh, yeah, Riley? Well, the jerk store called. They're running out of you.
What's the difference? You're their all-time bestseller.
Yeah? Well, I had sex with your wife.
His wife is in a coma.
I gotta tell you that Fred stealing the scene right now.
Who's Fred?
That's Charles Callenberg, the guy who says his wife's in a coma after
nice.
the long pause.
Yeah, there's something about that pause that it works for me. I think it goes on just a little bit too long, but it works.
That's what makes George look even more like he's from the jerk store. Confirming he is their bestseller, yes. Mm-hmm. And Riley looks quite distraught at that burn that he got from Costanza.
You know, thanks to this podcast, I'm now wondering, like, what is Riley's home life? Like, you know, he used to live in New York. His wife's in a coma, I guess, in New York, right? And now he moved to Ohio. Did his wife go with him?
One might think, yeah. So, not the best of times for Mr. Ocean Phone.
Right.
Hey, I got it.
Do you feel bad for Riley in this scene? Or are you like, whoa, George, you took it too far?
I do. George crossed the line. But
he didn't know.
That's true. If anything, we should be blaming Kramer because he's the one who planted the seed in George's head.
Once again, yeah. We should also mention George's way of getting this meeting was suggesting a snow tire day at Yankee Stadium.
As long as I don't throw him on the field.
Let's move over to the hospital here for like our last proper scene. Elaine arrives to visit Kramer, who, Jerry's sitting there and says he's been sleeping a lot since the accident. He's still pretty groggy. But Elaine was pretty thoughtful, enough to bring a VCR and a gene pick.
Aww.
Yeah, what happened to Vincent?
Kind of off of him.
So Elaine needs an outlet for the VCR.
Matthew, don't you mean holes?
Oh, I messed up. I'm so sorry.
We're not there yet.
No, you're right. Elaine needs holes. I need holes for the VCR, and finds one next to Kramer's bed. And she kind of unplugs one of the monitors from the wall, and Kramer wakes up and starts screaming as he sees that plug, dangling in front of him.
Stage freeze.
Don't say stage freeze, just do it. What's that Kramer yell? It's it's like a more intense version of remember when Roxy ripped his shirt? It was like, whoa.
Well, you sound like Wayne right there. So, not like that.
I love this last image, though. It really works. It'd be kind of cool, pointless, but cool, to take all of the final frames, any episode that had a freeze frame, and kind of like, I don't know, arrange them into some beautiful mural.
I won't be involved, but that's, get to work.
Anyhow.
Okay.
Next week, we're doing our top 10 favorite screen grabs. So, final scene here on the credits, over the credits, is George in his car. He's returned to New York from Akron. And as he's driving home, he's replaying the Firestone meeting in his head. And just like before, he eventually realizes what he should have said to, the wife is in a coma line. And he's like, damn it. And he, does the U-turn in the middle of the road. And
yo, mate, Riley, you just screwed yourself. Oh.
Now, do you think we get a little bit of the comeback here? stay with me for a second.
Okay.
He does say in the car, well, the life support machine called and, dot, dot, dot. And then he says, wait, that's what I should have said. Do you think that was the beginning of his comeback?
It's possible. Given George's history with, coming up with Jerk Store, it would only make sense that he would have the life machine pay a call. So, George does not have a penchant for these types of burns. He's not very good at them. So maybe that's where we're going. What would the life support machine say?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Would it say, beep?
It just flatlines?
Yeah. That's dark. That's...
So, what do you think?
So, Matt, do we yank this episode like we're starting a mower, or do we stick?
Oh, boy, that's a tough one. Actually, it's not a tough one. I definitely stick with this episode. Yeah. I think this is one of the, like the classics, one of your heavy hitters out of season 8. Mm-hmm. Once again, if only because of the whole Jerk Store comeback. It's incredible when these episodes crop up where they're memorable mainly for either one scene or, one bit of dialogue. It's just... I don't know how that happens, really.
It seems to be whenever Peter Melman's pen or fingers touch a keyboard, his phrases, slogans, ideas tend to catch fire. And yet again, this is the idea that he contributed, and everybody's telling everybody that the Jerk Store called.
Right. I want to push back on that a little bit because I'm not sure if he was the one that came up with Jerk Store. I think he might have just contributed the comeback idea. But yeah, that's a good point. His episodes seem to have the most memorable bits of like sign terms or signisms in them. But yeah, I really like this episode. I lean a little bit more towards the other 3 characters for some reason. Maybe because the comeback storyline to me, as a big Seinfeld fan, is a little overplayed. I don't think it's stupid or not funny. But I did equate it to the Soup Nazi earlier, where it's just a little too much at this point. So, what about you though? Do you like the? Are you a fan of the episode?
Oh yeah, this is a great little episode. I did really enjoy the Milos stuff, and all 4 storylines I thought were fun. Mm-hmm. I don't know if because it's me having my nose up in the air, but like you said, the bigger storylines that everybody knows, I want to go a different way. As for what tickles my buying bone. Mm-hmm. So I like the other storylines a little bit more, but I enjoyed everything this week.
And, I'm still shocked that the whole, Vincent thing didn't, land with you when you were younger, first watching this episode.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal was. Maybe I didn't put 2 and 2 together. Maybe it's because I only go by Vinnie, and, Vincent's rarely thrown out there.
Oh, good point, yeah.
Vincent.
Anything in this episode that didn't work for you, that you're not a fan of?
Well, I really didn't care for that. The opening line with the big man wants a scoreboard. I'm going to tell him. I want my Steinbrenner back. I miss Larry and I want him. Nothing really jumped out at me that I didn't like.
Yeah, I'd say it's a pretty solid episode as well, especially if you were to show like a first-time Seinfeld fan. I feel like an episode like this would work. It's kind of a nitpick, but I wish the storylines would dovetail a little bit better. We're definitely in those later seasons where the 4 storylines are completely, disconnected from each other, and there might be some attempt to connect them at the end, and I think they sort of land it, just the mention of the coma and whatnot, but yeah, again, it's a nitpick. I just wish there was more overlap between the characters this week. Now, Vinny, with an episode this big and, this classic, would you put this in your top 20, or is it more of a top 50 episode?
Boring. No, it will not crack my top 20. Somebody suggested at trivia that we should make a top, go to top 30. That way we can get some episodes from season 8 and 9 in there. But
and not just that, but I think it was one of the Adams, I thought, said was it a top list for each season or like each
something like
third?
That. Oh yes, that was it. Top 5 or top 10 from each third, 1 through 3, 4 through 6, right. 7 through 9. So anyway,
I'm looking at my top 20 list here. I wouldn't be surprised if this made my top 5 for the season, but
Yeah, I could see that.
We'll see, though, as the rest of the season plays out, because there's still some good episodes to come.
If we do decide to go down that route, we have to reevaluate our whole screening process. So, it's exhausting. All right, that's going to do it for us here on Seincast this week. Please feel free to send us an email at seincast@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, or you can leave us a voicemail at Coco Bosco.
Vinny, what episode do we have next week?
We're discussing the 14th episode of Season 8, The Van Buren Boys. And Matt, random question here. Who's your favorite chess player?
Najaf?
That's right. Nazikov.
But for now, I'm Matt.
I'm Najgalia.
Signing off. Seincast is not endorsed by Castle Rock Entertainment, Sony Pictures, or NBC. It is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Seinfeld, the Seinfeld logo, and all names, pictures, and audio of Seinfeld characters are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respective trademark and copyright holders.
Tennis, anyone?